So, ladies and gentlemen, very often I'm asked, why do you go so hard on these people who are leftists, who are degenerates, who are these misfit, revolting, low IQ, low value freaks? Why do you go so hard on them? Well, the answer is because these people don't have any scruples. They don't have any morality. They don't have any decency or honesty or honor or value. These are people that are constantly looking to degrade society, degrade culture, degrade works from other greater people. They're looking to sort of take it over and infest it with their sick, degenerate stuff so that they can have it say whatever they wanted to say. So, in the case of Paper Mario, there have been article after article after article from Kotaku and Polygon and Game Explain and all these other things that there is now a trans character in Paper Mario. It's not true. And I think people need to start becoming far more harsh on people who do things like this and companies that do things like this, because the reality here is that this is the result of intentional mistranslating. This is the result of a bunch of activists who work at these companies making changes that do not line up with the original vision of the content creator. Now, I have another video in the works on Assassin's Creed Shadow again because, of course, inevitably, Yasuke, the main character for Assassin's Creed Shadow, they've now come out and said that he's gay. Because this whole thing is a joke. It's a charade. There is no legitimacy to these people. It's so predictable. It's a joke at this point, and we're all in on the joke. But there are not enough people to actively call out these people for what they are. And to reject the underlying premise. So, you scrub Japanese history, for example, and you find a black samurai, and then you go, okay, well, he's a black samurai, but that's not enough controversy to, to cover up our, grotesque monetization. So what we're going to do is now we're going to make him gay. And that's what people are going to talk about, and I think rightfully so. I think that should be a topic of conversation because it's disgusting. It's disgusting that a corporation would use asexuality to try to promote their game. It's them promoting degeneracy to try to advertise their product. I think it's particularly weak and pathetic, and yeah, that's just yet another example of a company not having the ability to make a good game and stand behind it, so they're going to try to do something like this. This is a different instance. This is a good game that people like, that is being re-released. It's being, updated. There's a new HD version. It's being mistranslated so that these freaks can promote their agenda, their ideology, that they can come out and say, well, this character is trans. But we know that they're not. It's a complete and total lie. It says, Vivian is a cross-dresser, or a femboy, in the original Japanese, not trans. I mean, it's so obvious what these people are doing and why. This is a religion. This is their cult. And unlike my religion, my faith, which has historical grounding, moral grounding, has stood the test of time, this religion is newly formed. It's been around for probably 20 years. We've seen it metastasize into society probably within the last 10 or so. And the damage that it's done and the lives that it's ruined and the content that it's ruined, this is really, genuinely killed creativity. You have people that believe that this is a win because you've injected a mental illness into the norm. I mean, that is so immediately repulsive. And let me just say, because I know that inevitably some people will ask my opinion on trans people. My opinion on trans people is the same opinion that I have on people with schizophrenia or people with cancer, even. That it's an illness. Now, it's a mental illness, but it's an illness. Now, you wouldn't look at somebody with cancer and say, I'm so glad that you have this. No, of course not. That's cruel. And my religion gives me the moral clarity to say, I don't like your lifestyle. I think it's degenerate. I think it's disgusting. I think it's sinful. I think it's wrong. I think that most people acknowledge that it's wrong. But my thing is, I hope that you get help. That you find somebody that's going to talk to you honestly and give you the help that you need to overcome this. Unfortunately, what we have far too often are a bunch of self-absorbed psychopaths that want to turn this into something normal. They want to try to normalize it. There's no way that you're ever going to normalize anything with a 41% suicide rate. You're just not. It's never going to happen. And by trying to normalize it, you are doing evil. You are doing harm to other people. By putting this in the game and trying to normalize it, you are doing harm. Instead of encouraging these people to get actual help. Actual help. Not become part of a community of depraved, degenerate, mentally ill weirdos. And go further and further into kink and debauchery and degeneracy. You're trying to take things that exist and taint them and manipulate them and twist them and turn them into something unholy. I think that these people need help, if I'm honest. I think that they need assistance. And I think that history is not going to be kind to us with the way that we have treated these people. Not within the last, let's say, 10 years. By allowing this ridiculous fad to continue, by allowing these degenerate freaks, mostly women, to trans their kids, for allowing this to go on, allowing doctors to get rich off of this, allowing the pharmaceutical and medical assembly line to just keep rolling and put these innocent people in there instead of getting them the medication and help that they need. It is so completely backwards, and this is what we have to deal with every time. So my solution now is that these people have made it clear that this is war. They have no qualms with promoting a 41% suicide rate ideology and worldview and trying to push other people into it and normalize it. So my thing is, my modus operandi is, the people who promote this, the people who push this, the keffels of the world, is that you don't give them any quarter. You don't pull back. You don't pull your punches, metaphorically speaking. You lay into them. You excoriate them. You let them know that this is not acceptable, that you are not going to tolerate this because this is evil. This is an absolutely evil ideology. Now, it doesn't mean that all of the people who were part of this are evil. I myself have seen people who were trans who were actually pretty decent. but it's still a mental illness that people need help with. People need help with it. It is not a good solution to say that you should erase your future for any reason, and that's unfortunately what a lot of these people are being encouraged to do. Hey, you feel like you're the opposite gender even though you're not? You should carve up your body to match what's in your mind. That it, I can't even begin to tell you how evil that is. But this is what we're dealing with here. So, ladies and gentlemen, um, yeah, it's abundantly clear that we have work to do. To continue to call this out, to make it clear that it's not acceptable to change another culture's work, to make it clear that it's unacceptable to come out and start promoting your degeneracy and your kink and your filth and your, bullshit into this stuff. This is a kid's game. This should have nothing to do with any of that. Anyway, that'll do it for today's video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.